A famous urban legend tells a story about a Rosh Yeshiva who gave a shir in his yeshiva and said extraordinary chidushim in the shir, which were unheard of. After the shir, one of the students comes over to him and says, Rosh Yeshiva, where did you get all these chidushim? Who says them? So Rosh Yeshiva says to him, one of the great achronim says them. One of the great achronim. He says, what? The student says, where is it written? I says, you also want me to write it down for you? We're so used to reading Torah, reading Sfarim, which is great, and relating to Torah only as a written word. But really, the larger chunk of Torah is the Torah Sheba'al Peh, which Moshe Rabbeinu learned from HaKadosh Baruch Hu on Har Sinai, was given over in Mesorah, from rabbi to student, and from father to son, to grandson, to granddaughter, over the generations. That is the Torah Sheba'al Peh. It says the Noda B'Yehuda, Reb Cheskel Landa, in his famous commentary on Masechet Brachot, the Tziyun Nefesh Chaya, the Tzlach, and he says the source for the existence of Torah Sheba'al Peh and its importance is in our parsha, in Parashat Kriyat Shema, when the Torah says, "Vayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha yom al levavecha." The words need to be on your heart. V'shinantam lebanecha v'dibartam. You have to relay it over and over to your children. When you're at home, and when you're on the way, when you go to sleep, when you get up. Why does the Torah have to elaborate so much on how we have to learn Torah? Twice, when you get up, when you go to sleep, when you're teaching, and have it on your heart all the time. Because if Torah is only a written word, we wouldn't have to have so many commandments about how to get engrossed in Torah. But since the oral word is vaster, the Torah Sheba'al Peh that goes down with all the essence and how to behave and how to live Torah is something that you can't always put into a book. And even if you can, the person who reads it doesn't get all the nuances and everything that's there. That's why the Torah has to command. The Torah has to be communicated in so many different ways so that we can really live a full life of Torah. And as Chazal say, Gadol Shimusha Yoter Milimuda. Sometimes serving a Talmid Chacham or being close to a Talmid Chacham or someone who enhances Torah in his whole lifestyle teaches you much more than a book. So obviously, I want to encourage you to learn a lot of Torah and Gemara and from the Sfarim, but always remember that Torah is always much more brought over to the next generations and to ourselves and enhanced in so many different ways in the way we live every single moment of our life. Shabbat Shalom.